Καλησπέρα σας, καλοί φίλοι τηλεθεατές. Καλώς ήλθατε στο πρόγραμμά μας Faces, πρόσωπα. And I have to turn to English. Αν και ο φίλος μου, ο Peter Polycarpou, μιλά λίγα ελληνικά, αλλά he prefer English. Καλησπέρα και good evening, Peter Polycarpou.
Καλησπέρα κύριε Βασίλη.
Είσαι καλά?
Ναι, έχει χρόνια να σε δω.
Έχει χρόνια, ναι. Έχει χρόνια. Μεγαλώσαμε και οι δύο. We grown up.
Γεράσαμε εννοεί.
Τι κάνεις, είσαι καλά?
Μια χαρά, yes.
Yeah,
yes, I'm still working. I'm still, you know, able to work.
I'm glad you are here because we have to talk about, I mean, your life, you know.
My life?
No, your life.
How long have you got? Because we're going to be here all night if we do that.
Bits of your life.
Bits of my life.
Yeah, because you know, our audience, the new audience, they don't know much about you.
No, I'm sure they don't. I'm sure they don't.
So, and we're going to talk about, you know, what you're doing at the moment, recently and now, and future plans, and about thalassemia at the end, because you are a patron of thalassemia. Yes? Peter
Yes, I'm a
Polycarpou.
patron of the United Kingdom Thalassemia Society, and I have been for many, many years, over 20 years in fact.
Yeah.
And you know about thalassemia, of course, but on the 19th of October, that's National Thalassemia Day, and we are going to be at LGR.
Yes,
where
doing
you have been a
full day of
a full day of activity. There'll be three of our patrons, one appearing in the morning, one in the afternoon, where I'm going to go, and then one in the evening as well. And there'll be interviews, and there'll be question and answer sessions. It'll be all things thalassemia, but it'll also be a chance to ask us questions about it and how you can help, get involved with the charity, all of those things.
So people who doesn't know about thalassemia, they can find out that day, yeah?
They can find out that day, or they can go online to ukts.org, which is
everything
the website.
is online these days, yeah?
Yeah, including my website.
I haven't got a website. Anyway, Peter.
Yes.
You're born in England. Both your parents are Greeks from Cyprus, yes?
Yes, both my parents, God rest them, you know, they were from Cyprus, but I was born in Brighton. And both my sister and I were born in Brighton. My younger brother was born in London. But we left Brighton when I was about 7 years old.
Oh, okay.
And then we came to London, lived in London ever since then. So.
Okay, because you did so much, okay, and you say you need, you know, plenty of time to talk about your life. I want you to tell me about the most important work you did. I mean, as far as I know, you started as a singer in a group. You were playing an instrument and singing in a group.
Well, I play the piano.
A piano, yeah.
And I have done since probably I was about 9 or 10 years old. And I did leave drama college to turn professional as a musician. But that didn't really last. You know, the band that I was in split up, and suddenly I found that I had no work at all. But it just so happens that I was approached by, this is in 1979, so I've been an actor 43 years, it's a long, long time. I was approached then in 1979 by an actor, by a musician who was also an actor, who had written a children's rock opera.
Okay.
And he asked me to sing in it. And in those days you needed an equity card, and it was a union card, and you couldn't work without the union card, and blah, blah, blah. And that's how I got my first job, working in children's theatre. In the Unicorn Theatre for Children in Great Newport Street, doing a rock opera for children.
And then, you know, I mean, we saw you in Phantom of the Opera, Miss Saigon, and all these musicals, and you did quite a few, you know, television programs. The most famous one is Birds of a Feather.
Yeah, I was in that for 5 years, and they still show it in the UK. And there were, you know, many series of that were, you know, it continues to run in lots of different places. And it was a sitcom, and I played a Greek character, Chris Theodopolopoulos, which is a kind of comedic name, not a really made-up name. And after about 5 years, I got itchy feet. You know, I think that's the only way to put it. And I wanted to move on. I wanted to stretch my wings. And as you say, I had done a lot of different musicals. I'd done a lot of different plays. And over a period of about 10 10 years or so, because Birds of a Feather started in 1989. So after, say, 5 years in Birds of a Feather, I decided that I wanted to try things on a smaller scale and work in smaller theatres and perfect and hone my craft. And, you know, even then I felt, and even now I felt that, and I feel that I want to continue to learn about my craft and you know, continue to grow in the acting profession, as it were, by knowing more about my craft. And so that's why I decided to, you know, take a step to do smaller scale work, because all of the musicals I'd done, you know, they'd been in massive theatres, like, you know, the Theatre Royal Drury Lane. I worked in the London Palladium. I'd worked at the Royal National Theatre, at the Royal Shakespeare, you know, Theatre. So loads of very big venues, and I decided to work on a smaller scale. So.
Yeah, but you wrote some material as well, yeah?
Yeah, I did. I wrote at the time. This was going back to about 1987. I think I'd done some work for Theatro with you know, the lovely people there, and it was. I wrote a play called Searching for the Lemons, which was about kind of my own identity and about this.
Γυρεύοντας τα λεμόνια.
Yes, it was about, essentially it was about a guy who was a graffiti artist, and no, sorry. That's another play. That was called Cypriot Graffiti. Sorry, Searching for the Lemons was about my Greek identity and about the two sides of my identity pulling on each other, and one being, you know, pro wanting to live in Cyprus, and the other one being born here and wanting to learn, you know, more about his life here and be at home here. So the two didn't really, you know, kind of, they were like brothers, but they were kind of representative of the two sides of me. I didn't really know, you know, Vasily, my identity until well into my late 20s, early 30s, because I struggled to, and this is something I'm sure a lot of the Greeks in this country feel.
Yeah, it's the same with many.
They struggle to find their identity in the diaspora, and whether they're, you know, whether they're really British or whether they're British-born Greeks or whether they're, you know, what they really are. And so I think I came to terms with that. And even though I don't speak the language, I somehow, you know, ancestrally understand now more about my roots and more about my heritage, and I've come to love that element of my own history. Whereas I think over many years I wasn't sure what I was. And I think that's the same of a lot of different, you know, minorities from the diaspora.
Yeah. And you did a radio play, couple of radio plays, I suppose. And one of
done a lot of radio work.
Two of them we did for LGR as well.
Yeah, I remember we did Proxenia, didn't we?
Proxenia, yeah. That was in English as well, yeah?
That was in English, written by Andy Gourmet.
Andy Gourmet.
Yes, that was a very funny play.
And you wrote one yourself.
Yes, I did.
And you play the main part.
Yes, it was
the taxi driver? What
yeah, it was about a taxi driver. Yeah. Divorce Made Difficult. It was called.
Ο χωρισμός φέρνει δυσκολίες.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember.
And we put it on LGR, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yes.
So yeah, I've done a variety of writing over the years, but I suppose the main thrust of what I've been doing is really the acting work, and I've done some television in the last year, which is wonderful, and recently changed my agent, and so yeah, I did a movie this year called The Brutalist, which is going to be coming out next year.
But you did a movie with the very famous singer-actress Evita. Madonna?
I did. I danced with Madonna.
You danced?
I danced.
How was it dancing with Madonna?
Well, she was lovely. I mean, she was heavily pregnant at the time with her first child, I think. And she wanted me to dance with her in a scene off camera so that Antonio Banderas could have a good eye line. So we did it as a favour to him.
Okay.
And she was charming, you know, she was nice. And she was actually, I think, very underrated in that movie, Madonna. I thought she deserved a lot more praise than she actually got. She was fantastic as Evita in that film. And Alan Parker, sadly no longer with us, is a wonderful, wonderful director, and he directed that. So.
Okay, shall we show a small, about 3 minutes, you know, like a show reel, so people can get a little bit more about
It's on the website if you want to see it.
Yeah, but we're gonna show it.
Okay.
We're gonna show it.
Okay, well, sure, why not?
Let's go and see it, okay?
There are no mysteries now. Nothing can thrill you. No one fulfill you. High flying adore. I hope you come to terms with boredom. So famous so easily, so soon. It's not the wisest thing to be. You won't care if they love you. It's been done before. You'll despair if they hate you. You'll be drained of all energy. All the young who've made it would agree.
Flying adored, that's good to hear, but unimportant. My story's quite usual. Local girl makes good words famous man. I was there in the right place at the perfect time. Filled the gap, I was lucky. But one thing I'll say for me, no one else can feel it like I can.
So yes, Peter. Now you mentioned earlier on you did some you did the film recently, and you did other
Yes, with Adrian Brody, that was the movie.
Yeah.
And Guy Pearce. It's called The Brutalist. We shot it mainly in Hungary, Budapest, and it's a fantastic film that's coming out next year. And then I did an episode of Grantchester, which is on British television, playing a nice part in that. And then I did something called Chaos, which is a retelling of the Greek myths, and that's was in Rome. And then I did something called The Serial Killer's Wife. So it's been a busy old few years. And I also voice video games. I don't know if anybody out there plays a lot of video games, but Assassin's Creed, I'm on that, and I have been on that for several years. And there's another one called Pharaoh Total War, which I've got the voice on one of the characters on that. So yeah,
that's nice. But we were together. Do you remember in which
Well, the little comedy duo we used to do.
Well, a little comedy. We did something before that. I mean, I've been in a couple of episodes of what do you call it?
What, Birds of a Feather?
Birds of a Feather.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
I remember you were in the episode when my mum
died.
God bless her. Yeah, she died.
Yeah.
And my mum and dad were at their own wake. So that was very funny, seeing my mum, weeping at her own funeral. So
and we did.
They were playing extras, of course, so that's how they managed to be there. Anyway, sorry, go on, I interrupt you.
We did plane spotting as well. Yeah, yeah, I remember that.
Blimey, yeah, you remember more than I do. You see, I'm getting so old that I don't remember half the stuff that I've done.
It's not just that. Anyway, okay, any future plans? I mean, you say you're getting old, but you're not. I mean, you're still a young man, and you managed to get more parts and all this kind of thing. So, what is coming?
Κτήπαξιλο,
yeah. Κτήπαξιλο. What is...
well, I've got several things which I've developed something, a musical divertissement called Falling Stars, which is music from the 1920s, and you can show a little trailer of that if you like.
Oh, we can do that.
Because I did that with an actress called Sally Ann Triplett.
Oh, we can do that.
I'd spent...
you wrote it? I mean,
yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I wrote all the... the book I wrote, and all the music and the songs were written by people from the 1920s.
Okay, I think it's a good idea to see this as well, and then we carry on. Okay, let's go and see Falling Stars, yes?
Falling Stars.
Falling Stars, we can see the trailer. Okay, let's go.
There's a guy I'm wild about. Every time he takes me out, be found when there's no one else around.
Day will break and you'll awake and start to bake a sugar cake for me to take for all the boys to see. You never know, as a singer, what glorious, forgotten melodies you might uncover in this sort of a place. So, yes.
We have no bananas. He has no bananas today.
Peter, usually, I ask people to just give us an example of their singing and all this, because you are a very good singer. Do you sing a cappella sometimes? You know, I mean.
Do I sing a cappella? Sometimes I do. I mean,
How about
I
this,
remember.
How about this time?
I remember I used to sing one of my father's favourite songs, which is a Greek song.
Δεν είναι ο Παλιατζής.
Αυτό το σπίτι που το βλέπει σκοτεινό, απόψε να έρθει ακόμα περιμένει για να μαζέψει ακόμα ό,τι μένει από μια αγάπη, something like that, που χτυπήθηκε σκληρά. And then I think the chorus is βάλ' ό,τι θέλεις, πάρ' ό,τι θέλεις, Παλιατζή, από μια αγάπη που δεν ζει, αφού δεν ζούμε πια μαζί. Πάρ' ό,τι θέλεις,
Παλιατζή. Μπράβο ρε Πίτερ, χειροκροτούν εδώ. Λοιπόν, okay, any other future plans? I mean,
future plans, just to stay working. I want to mention one thing though, which is something that I don't know whether when this goes out, people will be able to, know more about the charity called the Royal Theatrical Fund. I'm a director of that. I'm a patron of the United Kingdom Thalassemia Society.
But you are a director of the other.
I'm a director of a trust, which is the largest theatrical charity in the United Kingdom, the Royal Theatrical Fund. And every month we meet as directors and allocate grants to older actors who are in residential care, or actors who have had some misfortune and an accident and can no longer work, or have dependent children that they need to look after and they can't cover their expenses. And it gets, it helps an enormous amount of people. So that's another thing that I'm involved in. It's very close to my heart, and I couldn't do any interview without mentioning the Royal Theatrical Fund. And we always need donations. We're always looking for help, because it doesn't just help actors, it helps directors, producers, people who work in the box office, people who work in lighting, people who work in stage management. So everybody that works in our profession in one way or another is helped by the Royal Theatrical Fund. So any help you can offer, rtf.org is the webpage.
What do you want to say to the young people? I mean, they have dreams and they're looking forward to their future and all this kind of thing, to become entertainers, actors and singers and all this kind of thing. What do you want to say to them?
Well, the best advice I suppose I can give is to try and live your dream. Try and live your dream. And if that's possible, then, do the thing that you love most and do it as well as you can. It is important that if you're going to be an actor, and you want to train as a singer, that you do get a good teacher. I think great teachers are worth their weight in gold. And whether you're a fantastic athlete, or whether you're an acrobat, or no matter what profession you may want to do, the teacher is there.
Teacher and
the teacher
coach,
is always there at the core of learning. And if you learn from a great teacher, then you can do yourself no harm whatsoever. So get some training if you're going to be an actor or a singer, whatever, and learn as much as you can about your profession. And also, go and watch other people whose work you admire. Go and watch their work and see what you feel about their work and how that makes you feel. And I think watching others, as I used to when I was a younger actor. I used to stand in the wings and watch people like Anthony Sher, who was a wonderful classical actor. Brian Cox, many people might know Brian Cox from Succession. I was lucky enough to be in a Shakespeare play with Brian Cox called Titus Andronicus, and I used to watch him from the wings. And watch people whose work you admire.
Watch people and, try and live your dreams, as you say. Yes.
Yeah, I was told as a very young, I worked in a dressmaking factory before I became an actor. And I used to go for a breakfast every morning in a place called the Green Angel. And I got chatting to this guy, and he had this mole right in the middle of his forehead. And I said to him, I want to be an actor. He said to me, he says, live your dreams. Live it, do it, do it. I said, oh, that's great, thank you so much. He said, I want to be an actor. He said, do it, live your dreams. And then 2 years later, I've got to tell you the rest of the story. The rest of the story is that he told me that he was going to write plays. He said, I'm going to be a playwright. He says, I'm writing a play at the moment. It's on in the East End.
And he wrote a play?
He wrote a play. Then 2 years later, I see this guy's face on the side of a billboard on the advertising for buses.
As a playwright?
And his face is enormous.
Oh my God.
There's wart in the middle of his face, these fixed grey eyes. Fantastically handsome man, and that was Stephen Burkoff.
Oh my God.
Now Stephen Burkoff is a very famous playwright, and I just happened to be talking to him, and it was one of the things he told me that I never forgot. There is another part to that story, which is 30 years later, I happened to go and meet him backstage after he was doing a play, because I was with someone who'd worked with him, and I said to him, I told him this story, and
he remembers.
He put his hand on my shoulder like this, and he said, and now look at you. He said, yeah, you've done well, haven't you? You're a very well-known actor. Well done. It kind of, it's a great bookend for the story.
Yeah.
So,
how about the, community in Cyprus? How close are you?
I wish I could say I was close. I wish I could say I was closer. I'm close with my family, but I don't. Apart from working in Cyprus, I directed a thing called Pygmalion in Cyprus, and I did a TV series there called Sunburn. But apart from doing those pieces of work there, I don't really know much about the artistic community in Cyprus. Though when I was there recently, I went to go and see a play in a local theatre in Limassol, and I do take an interest.
Was it in Greek? The play?
It was in Greek,
yes.
Yeah.
You understand it?
Yeah, I did. I do understand Greek. I just don't speak it properly. When I speak it, I feel like a manno. How do you say manno? Is that an idiot?
Idiot.
Yeah, there you go. Because my vocabulary is limited. But as far as the Greek community is concerned, I always read up about what's going on in Cyprus. I'm always interested to hear what the politics and how the politics of Cyprus are developing, and obviously the impasse and the state of stasis that there is in the negotiation process, and about the continuing occupation of the island. So it does interest me. But from the point of view of someone who looks at it from afar, and whilst my relatives live there and work there, and I love enormously, I feel, I suppose, more British than anything else, and I would love to have a solution for the Cyprus problem. I don't have one. And I know all sorts of people much cleverer than me have got ideas about what the solution should be. But I do take a keen interest in what's going on in the papers and in the news.
Okay, before we say good night.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Kick me out.
No. I want you to tell us again about the 19th of October, about the Thalassemia National Day.
Okay, so on the 19th of October, it's National Thalassemia Day. A day when the United Kingdom Thalassemia Society nationally comes together with organised events up and down the country to raise awareness about thalassemia. And I'm a patron of the charity, and three of the other patrons, Tonya Buxton and Kypros as well, is going to be there.
Kyprianou, yeah.
Yes, Kyprianou is going to be there. And we're going to be at LGR all day, London Greek Radio, to talk about and answer questions to do with thalassemia, to highlight and hopefully educate, and also to maybe raise some money as well, but to get people more involved and understanding what they can do to help, you know, their awareness of thalassemia. You know, one of the biggest things that you can do is to give blood. Yeah. Because thalassemics need regular blood transfusions. And so that is a huge factor. Or you can also just get tested for the gene. And I know that in Cyprus they're very on top of all that, but over here you have to go and get tested. It doesn't happen automatically.
Yeah, I know. They have to do it. Yes, it's important.
Well, we're also trying to. We've got an all-party parliamentary committee about thalassemia and sickle cell disease. So during those committee meetings, we're trying to get a national approach to healthcare for thalassemics. So that there's a national standard for thalassemics. Yeah.
Lovely, Peter. It's been nice to have you here. It's been a long time. I haven't seen you for, a couple of years, I think, and I miss you, honestly, and I'm happy that you are here, and I'm happy we travel back to the future, and we
That's very current, Back to the Future.
We remind ourselves about quite a few things, and you know something, I'm looking forward to do something together again, even for the radio or something else, do you think there is a possibility of working with me again?
I don't know, Vasily.
You don't know?
Maybe.
How about a radio, like a 10-minute radio play, a comedy, just to entertain?
I have developed a character called Michael. Michael is a barber.
Okay.
And I've done on my website, you can pick up, it's a little podcast that I'm doing. And Michael, he talks like this the whole time because he's from this country. And he has a Greek accent, but it's very thick. And he does people's hair.
Okay.
And whilst he's doing their hair, he talks to them about what various things. Yes. But he also talks about, for instance, he had an actor in his shop. So I had an actor in my shop. An actor, a very famous man, very famous. And I won't tell you who he is, but he's a very famous man. And he's just a lovely character. So maybe we could do something with Michael. Yes. I don't know. I'll tell you who I have just been working with, Alexander Theo.
Oh yeah, Alexander.
You remember Alexander Theo? I
just
did a short film
a couple of weeks ago. Yes.
I just did a short film with Alexander. Sorry, are we running out of time? Because I don't know how long we've got.
No. Carry on.
Can I talk about that?
Yes, please.
I did a short film recently with a guy called Alexander Theo. Yes. And Alex is a very, very fine actor, but he also has this character called Sulla. And it's a little short film called Kubebkia, which is the Cypriot word for dolmades,
Exactly, yeah.
And it's written by a trans woman called Sophia Vai. And it's a lovely story. I play a widower whose son is engaged to another man. And he goes to his son's engagement party.
Okay.
And he meets this trans woman there who has cooked the kubebkia. And that's how they meet. They meet over the kubebkia. And it's a lovely little film. But I just want to say that Alex and I have been talking about maybe working, maybe putting Michael and Sulla together, which might be fun.
Why not? Yeah. But why don't you put Michael and Toulis together?
And who's Toulis?
Toulis is me.
Is your character?
Yes, my character, yeah. Oyero Toulis.
Yeah. I remember when I did, do you remember Young, Gifted and Greek?
Yeah.
And we used to have a little granny sitting in the corner.
Yeah.
And he said, Wussu. We had some fun.
Peter,
didn't we? I don't know, Vasily. Let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens. Yeah, okay. We talk about it.
Yeah. We can talk about it.
Yes. It's a good idea. I mean, I believe you're capable of doing this, and because we know each other and we worked together before, I think we can do it. You know what I mean? We can make people laugh.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I like trying to make people laugh.
Thank you, Peter.
My pleasure.
Ευχαριστώ πολύ.
Και εγώ ευχαριστώ και σας εύχομαι καλή τύχη.
Κάπου εδώ να ευχαριστήσουμε και εσάς, τους καλούς φίλους τηλεθεατές. Εγώ και εσείς θα είμαστε μαζί την ερχόμενη Κυριακή, την ίδια ώρα, με ένα άλλο πρόσωπο ή πρόσωπα. Μέχρι τότε να προσέχετε ως εαυτούς σας. Καλή σας νύχτα.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
According to the Highways Department, there are 7 cameras covering that intersection. You've seen everything.
Right. Everything but his face. Let's do this. Now, if the answer is yes, you've seen this man, just say yes. Or better still, don't say anything. I know what you mean. That way, no one can accuse you of lying. And no one can accuse you of giving up your friend. So, have you ever seen this man around here? Accurate. One paper reported that when he was at school, he popped out his glass eye and rolled it around the playground.
That is a little unusual.
Only one problem.
And what was that?
He doesn't have a glass eye. One journalist offered his ex-wife 200,000 euros to say that he was a paedophile and that his home had a secret chamber in it, which she refused to do so. But look, the whole experience came close to destroying the lives of Murat and his family. Sound familiar?
How did this dreadful story end?
We sued the newspapers responsible and won £600,000 in damages. A record figure. I mentioned that in case you are interviewing other law firms.